Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. This is the show where we review the most active stocks in Yahoo Finance every single day. I'm going to go ahead and start with Tilray. Tilray, we have not seen Tilray on the top of the range, or at least in the most active stocks in Yahoo in a long time. We start to look at some of the price action. We can see we saw a very low volatility move here in May and into June. The very end of June, it looks like we saw an expansion. The price started to break out. It was right in the top of the range. If you watched my videos before, the thing that I love is when something breaks the top of the range, start to consolidate, hits the top of the range again, consolidates, and then starts to break out. That for me is a really confirming sign, as well as if we look down, we're probably going to see some very high volume. Now, if we're looking at the overall chart here, we can see essentially we've gone from very low volatility when it was coming to that bear market, essentially the downward move that we saw at the end of the very first day of July is when things traditionally change, it looks like, in terms of even the market structure as well as the trend. Now, if we look at where we are today, we are breaking out. We're doing it on very high volume. It looks like we gapped up. We're continuing to essentially see what looks like a repeating pattern, breakout, kind of consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. The moves we're seeing now are obviously much more sporadic, so I would be a little bit more cautious. But if people have been riding Tilray, I mean, today was up 22%. So if you just held it from yesterday, you're feeling very, very good as you watch this video. If we look at the sentiment, we are just breaking up above that 50% line. To me, the 50% line here, this is as a 100% bounded indicator. So everything can only go up to 100% or down to 0%. The thing is that because bullishness and bearishness have to exist inside of a market, this thing generally will never go above a 60% or a 70%, excuse me. So like the high 60s where you see 68 there, that's pretty high. Right now, we're at 52.3, which means to me that we could definitely see this move continue. Obviously, on the 15-day, we are not necessarily showing anything. We're still negative. We're at 49% bullishness, which means 50.9% bearishness. Not really positive there. The volatility, obviously, is breaking out. You can expect it as you're gapping up. When we look at traditional volatility, obviously, it's incredibly high right now. Now, if we look at the data table is interesting to me because we've gone from what was moderately high here for a few days where we're kind of hanging out to significantly high, and we still have significantly high volume. We maintain bullishness. We are well away from the trade level now. At the top of the range, we are getting pretty close to it. So I don't expect us to necessarily fall, but I don't expect us to necessarily hit 215 anytime soon either. I would expect, or hopefully, I would want to see that we would consolidate for a little bit. I love that we've got higher highs in the range, and if we're looking from the 1 day all the way to the 1 year, we're very, very positive. Things are looking fantastic inside of Tilray.